It's that time of the week again where we go bargain hunting on the eShop, cutting through the sea of junk to help uncover those deals worth considering across the UK, US and EU eShops. I'm James Amero, and before we jump in, I wanted to highlight our sponsor of this episode, Hypercharge Unboxed. If you've not come across this gem before, it's a first-person shooter where you get to play as an action figure in co-op, PvP or on your own. If you remember the movie Small Soldiers, then this is the video game version of that. Taking place in a micro world, the action is a blast and the gyro controls implementation is superb, so give this one a look. Alright, let's jump in and take a look at this week's deals. Okay, so my pick of the week is Crysis Remastered. This game has been ported to the Switch and it is still superb to this day. The fast-paced action as you take on enemies in lush environments wearing your superhuman nanotech suit is thrilling and satisfying. There is a lot to enjoy here, from the story to the ability to tackle your goals in various ways, and of course the visuals. The game is a blast to play on the move as well as on a TV. Now, when this one first came out, it really pushed the bar on graphics and environmental physics, and amongst all of that, it's a damn fine shooter as well. With 40% off, this is a really solid deal. Juan, Jordan, what are your picks this week?
Thanks very much, James. This week I've gone for an indie I liked when it arrived on the Switch a few years ago. I reviewed it way back in 2017. Can't believe it's been that long. Well, if you like Doom, then imagine a 2D style Doom where you're a cyborg and your sole purpose is to annihilate humanity. Pretty grim but fun nevertheless, blowing up and shooting the crap out of anything that moves. You even have a trusty chainsaw if you really want to see some of that red stuff. Sure, the visuals are not the best in the world, pixel art with not enough pixels in my book, but this is a real love letter to the 90s and one that I really enjoyed. The gameplay is rather solid. Try playing this on hard mode though, how the devs intended, for some really pull your hair out moments. A great buy at its current price. See you next week.
Hey everyone, my bargain of this week is all about kicking ass and chewing gum. The Duke is on the Switch, part of the healthiest selection of retro or retro style shooters available on the system. For me, I have a lot of fun memories of the original game, and I bought it at launch when it was already discounted. And now it's back down to that launch price, 50% off, £3.99 and $4.99 in euros and dollars. That's just a great price and on par with the classic Doom games. It's got a lot of content, plenty of extras from the original, and it packs a surprising challenge. It is far more difficult than I remember. I love the humor, I love the secrets. It's just a fun game and a perfect alternative to Doom at this low price.
Great picks there, lads, as always. Now, up next, it's Cosmic Star Heroine. I reviewed this indie title a while back and love the sci-fi Chrono Trigger inspired RPG gameplay. It oozes personality and has lots of decent mechanics as well. The audio and visuals are superb retro in my opinion. The cutscenes remind me of Blade Runner, which can be no bad thing. At less than the cost of a coffee, you cannot go wrong with this really charming story. Rive is a platforming shoot 'em up in the twin stick 2D style. I'm a massive fan of this type of arcade pick up and play game, and this one is one of the best. But be warned, it's on the hardcore side of things. It will often have you nearly throwing your Switch across the room, but with a whopping 90% off, you can't beat this ridiculous price. Mutant Mudds Collection is 3 games in one. The first Mutant Mudds plus its sequel. These are basic looking but tough and neatly designed that make great use of the backgrounds and foreground within the levels. The last game is a puzzle game created specifically for this release, and now that it's all got 80% off across all regions, it's a good game package to enjoy. Where most cooking games out there offer up a thin cooking experience combined with timing in a fun and streamlined experience, Cooking Simulator goes the other way. There's no flashy colours. What we have is a simulator without frills. It's not pretty, it follows realistic recipes, and your chief goal is to really run a solid kitchen to the point that you are noticed by critics and rewarded for that work. This leads to a different experience that some will find a bit bland and others will love. The controls didn't map over to the Switch too well, which is a shame, but apart from that, it's a nice change from other games of similar ilk. I certainly wouldn't advocate paying full price for this one, but with 90% off, it's a nice little niche game. Next up, Towaga is a simple and fun arcade-like game set in a really beautiful world. In the game, you play as Chimu, a Lightbearer, and the last hope of your tribe against the evil lord set on plunging the world into darkness. At your disposal is the light, literally, using the right stick to shine a powerful beam in the direction of your aim. There are two gameplay sections, ground and aerial. On the ground, you do not move, so it's about timing which enemies to kill and using your spells at the right time. In the air, you lose the spells but gain movement, so it's a nice balance. There are 4 different modes on offer, as well as multiplayer, making this a really decent package. It really does look superb visually, and though it will eventually get repetitive, the modes do help. One of my most vivid gaming memories is of playing Metal Slug 2 at an arcade with my friend whilst on holiday as a youngster. We kept going back and trying to get further in this tough as nails game. Whilst Metal Slug 2 is available to buy, Metal Slug X offers a slightly improved version of the game with reworked stages, colour palettes, new weapons, and even more enemies. This is a superb game to this day, and it can be enjoyed either solo or in co-op. It's definitely worth a go with 50% off. Xeodrifter is another Metroidvania in an already busy and crowded market, but it's a decent entry. As a spacefarer with a damaged interstellar core, you are stuck in a planet system and set out to explore its 4 planets. There's nothing particularly new here, but the weapon upgrade system is great, and with a hefty 80% off for less than £2, you can't go wrong. Cinders is the tale of Cinderella, told as a visual novel, but it's definitely more Brothers Grimm than Disney. It's darker, moodier, telling of the classic story. It's written really well and does look gorgeous. Fans of the genre, this one could be for you. I would urge you to think beyond your initial impressions of Cinderella. This one is definitely good fun. Ghoulboy is a retro-inspired style action platformer that combines the action RPG genre with hack and slash gameplay. It features 2D action, heroic characters, gloomy environments, demonic bosses, and sadly poor translation. This one has a lot of potential, but it is rough around the edges, and really I doubt the developer will go back at this point and fix some of these small bugs. That said, even in this state, it's enjoyable for a short amount of time, and whilst I couldn't recommend it at full price for $2, it's a nice little game to play. Now, this is not on sale in the UK or the EU eShops, but as you may know, your Switch is region free, so you can set up accounts elsewhere in order to take advantage of these deals. Next up, it's Pic-a-Pix Deluxe. It's a bit of a weird name. If you're a fan of nonogram puzzles, the simple yet devilish number-based grids which you solve in order to reveal pixel-based artwork, then this is exactly that. A no-frills, lots of puzzles experience without any gimmicks. It functions and looks just fine, but doesn't introduce anything new, which makes it a simple purchase decision. If you want a puzzle game to pass time with and challenge your brain, have a look. Otherwise, give it a miss. An example of a simple and addictive platformer, the premise of Binaries is truly simple enough. You need to guide 2 balls into their goals. The catch is that they both move at once. What starts out as a simple affair quickly evolves into something extremely tricky, and with over 100 levels, you won't be finishing them all anytime soon. The overall package is not pretty, and nothing new gets added later on, but at this price, what a bargain. Mortal Kombat is a fantastic series that's been around since 1992. That said, it's had some blips along the way. MK11 brings the series right back to prominence, full of great gameplay and gory, crushing blows. It holds to a solid 60 frames per second in exchange for some visual downgrades, but still looks gorgeous on the Switch. The story mode is thoroughly engrossing, and there are plenty of modes to get stuck into, but most importantly, the controls feel great and combat is fluid. It's a satisfying and rewarding fighter worthy of the Mortal Kombat name. On sale with 60% off makes this a bargain. And that's it for today, folks. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, then why not subscribe for more content delivered straight to you? What is your favourite bargain this week? Do let us know below, and we'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care and have a great week.